people who don't know, who runs the Illuminati? Who are the founding fathers of this whole demonic?
What I do is, rather than talk off the top of my head, is your dollar back. At the top of my head, I go to books like this, Bloodlines of the Illuminati. It gives you all of the families that are here, not written by a black man, not written by Griff. You understand what I'm saying? These are the bloodlines of the Illuminati. This is why Barack Obama, President Obama, is tied in via the bloodline. This is why Jay-Z said that he was sitting in Saint-Tropez sipping $20,000 bottles of Cristal with the Blue Bloods. Are you following me? So when you talk about a place like the White House, they're not talking about a physical place, they're talking about a bloodline. So we can call their names all day long, but until you connect the dots, as Steve Coakley teaches us, you don't know who's operating with who. All right, so Fritz Springmeier broke it down in this book, The Bloodlines of the Illuminati. And the average person, especially us, we're not gonna go to the store and spend $40 and decode this and break this down and teach this to our people. But brothers like myself, I have to. And this gentleman, Tex Mars, wrote Codex Magica. All these signs and symbols and these handshakes and all this kind of stuff your man Jay-Z and the rest of these people are doing, they're decoded right in this particular book. They don't position themselves with these handshakes and these body movements and sitting a certain way. You see what I mean? They don't do this for nothing. All right? They do this for a reason. Look. Are you following me? They're speaking a language to someone right past your consciousness. They're speaking an entire language, and until we become symbol literate,
I definitely want to get.
We won't know Codex Magica by Tex Mars.
I'll make sure y'all check this out. I mean, like this glance, because he was showing me a lot of things. It's like, where we at here? All the different poses and stuff people do.
Right, and handshakes and whatnot. We got to understand why these people sit the way they do and send signals the way they do, and the whole language that they use, being a symbol literate. You understand what I'm saying? And we gotta understand that, because they're speaking a language right past us. A lot of people ask me. Matter of fact, Tavis Smiley asked me in my book when the cameras were turned off. He said, because I came to the interview on the Tavis Smiley show with books and newspapers and shit. He says, well, you can leave that backstage. I'm like, nah, I might need it. So I just kind of set it right there on the coffee table. But they made sure they didn't get it in the shot. Because if he was to go in on some of these things, I wanted to show them that this is not coming from me. God is no respecter of persons, man. God don't care who you are. The truth is the truth. Listen, if it starts to rain right now and all of us went outside, you think it's not going to rain on you like it's going to rain on me? God is no respecter of persons. When the truth hits you, it hits you.
So what is Illuminati's purpose in the industry, and when did they infiltrate the industry? When did this all start in the industry as far as music?
Well, globally, they want a total global enslavement. They want to control every facet of everyone's life, everything moving, breathing, thinking. They want to control everything on the planet.
Okay.
Now, I'm 49 years old. Before you was born, I was giving this lecture. You can go back into the archives and say, okay, well, damn, he was talking about the New World Order and the Illuminati a long time ago, which I talk about that in my book when I deal with the occult science. But it first hit me when a man by the name of Steve Coakley started connecting dots. And I already knew some things prior to that, but when he started actually putting it up and connecting the names with the organizations, with the people, to black people, in and out of music, in and out of education and politics, I said, oh wow, this is a lot deeper than I ever thought. So when I started actually putting up physical charts and connecting people's names, I said, oh, if it's happening with the World Council of Churches, with the Creflo Dollars and the TD Snakes and the Eddie Wrongs and them, then it's happening in music. And sure enough, when I started pulling the cover off of Sony, we started pulling the cover off of MCA and some of these major record companies at the time, it's there. There's a man by the name of John Todd. If you put his name in the search engine, he talks about, I should have turned that off. That's the Roots, by the way. You heard the Roots' new album?
Yeah,
that's kind of fly. But anyway, John Todd actually talks about how they had a secret chamber down below the record company where they used to take your master, put it on the altar, and do rituals around your music.
I've heard of that.
This is real. Do you understand what I'm saying? So when I started connecting the dots, it just hit me, man, like somebody cold cocked me. And I'm like, wow, right here, right in front of me. But then I was really shocked, to answer your question directly, I was shocked to see the Jay-Z's and the Damon Dash and these kind of people, kind of their behavior wasn't like it was early on. They were strictly hood. Do you understand what I'm saying? And then I'm like, well, what is it about belonging to the Billionaires Boys Club that makes you change and get disconnected from the hood? Do you understand what I'm saying? I said, oh, they taking the oath. See, the Illuminati, the holders of the light, infiltrated the Masonic Lodge. Now, for the Masons that are out there watching this, you don't know a damn thing about this. I ain't talking about your average Mason down the street that know a couple little handshakes and little code words. I'm not talking about him. He don't know anything about this. The Illuminati infiltrated. If you study Myron Fagan, the one who actually brought this information to light, he did a thing called the CFR. The CFR is the Illuminati in America. Myron Fagan. And he was basically saying the Illuminati infiltrated the Masonic Lodge and actually was the ones that set up camp in the Masonic Lodge and actually initiated some of these people in the Masonic Lodge. And once the Kanye West and the Nas and these kind of people kind of took that oath, it's a wrap, man.
So let me ask you this, like with Nas, especially, like, I always thought Nas was speaking against the powers that be, especially with the last album that he released, the Nigga album. Like, I felt like out of all the mainstream artists, he really was the one to kind of expose some of the stuff that was going on and kind of speak out against it. You know, not like how Tupac did. I don't think he went as far as that. But at the same time, he did kind of come out at them.
I think Nas in a clever way, and we have to respect Nas for this. Beautiful brother, talented artist, but he has to juggle this thing like we got to juggle this thing. He got to survive. Do you understand what I'm saying? And I think he was up in that space. I think some shit was revealed to him, and he said, look, if I don't play both sides of this thing to get out of this shit alive, I'm going to end up like Tupac. Personally, that's what I feel. Nas may be watching this. I know Nas. Nas knows me. You understand what I'm saying? But that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm feeling watching Nas and the moves that he's making.
Throughout his whole life, because Nas, to me, I felt like they always tried to position Nas in Jay-Z's position. You know what I'm saying? Like, as far as, like, I feel like they approached each artist from different coasts, the main artists at the time, and approached them with the same ultimatum.
Right.
And the ones who they felt like didn't want it and were probably going to reveal something, they ousted.
Right, but you know, some interesting points, simply because I tell people all the time, you don't choose them, they choose you.
Right.
So they had their eye on Nas for a long time. Now, we can't sit there and say for sure that they approached Nas, but I'm telling you, I'm willing to bet some money that they did. Look at his career and some of the things that he was trying to do. You understand? On a street level, trying to survive in the industry. He was battling Jay-Z at the point where he flipped and signed with Jay. And I'm like, wait a minute, dude. You just ate his ass alive with the ether. You understand what I'm saying? But yet you're going to go sign with your rival? Come on, something's up with that. Right. See, that's the Hegelian dialectic principle. You know, that's the three-step solution. Problem, reaction, solution. You know, the same thing that Kanye and 50 Cent did. Made us think that they were against one another. When they started competing who's going to sell the most records, shit, they probably in cahoots with one another to get that cheese, get caked up. You understand what I'm saying?
So what do you feel about, like, so you feel like every artist who's in that money space, the Puff Daddies, the Jay-Z's, the 50 Cents, the Kanye's, the Eminems, the Dr. Dre's, all these people, the Ice Cubes, are they a part of what's force feeding us with all this?
Yeah, but they want to know, and I want to look in the camera and tell them to their face, man, your ass is a peon. When them crackers get a hold of your ass and they decide to do away with you like they did Michael Jackson, I'm warning you, I'm telling you, they killed Michael Jackson.
I believe that.
When they ready to get rid of your ass, you are done. And your ass cannot come back to the hood.